SharePoint server. It only has one server edition, so you buy a SharePoint server license for all servers where you want to run SharePoint on, and then you license your devices or your users with standard and/or enterprise CALs. The enterprise functionality of SharePoint server CALs is mainly additional business solutions and business intelligence capabilities. Do follow the link if you need to know more around this, but that's the main difference. There are generally 3 different scenarios that you can set up with SharePoint, which have different licensing types, and it's important to go into a bit further because it depends on the amount of license that you need to buy. So if you want to offer SharePoint as an intranet service, so you want only to use it for internal use, you license it as just described. You license the servers with the amount of server license that you need, and then you license your users and or devices. But if you want to open your environment up to the outside world, you want to allow external users to access your environment as well, you should still license all internal users with the appropriate client access licenses. External use does not require a license. Finally, there's an internet scenario where you just open up the environment for anyone to access. And this type of scenario generally doesn't require a CAL, as it sees the internal and external users as the same. They're all basically external access. So in that sense, you just license the server and then you don't need any client access licenses. So Skype for Business is the third one. It is basically the same as SharePoint server. You license your servers with the correct license, and then you assign the correct level of client access licenses to your users and or devices. You have a standard, an enterprise CAL, and an additional one here is the plus CAL. So standard CAL grants options for presence IM, peer-to-peer, voice over IP, and Skype connectivity. Enterprise CAL enables meetings with audio and video calling, desktop and application sharing, dial-in, conferencing on mobile, tablet, PC, and Mac. And the plus CAL enables you to do PSTN, dial-in, dial-out, emergency calling, and additional enterprise-grade phone features. So the plus CAL is when you want to set up Skype for Business on-premise as as your full-on calling solution. It's often, almost always a hosted solution that you then should acquire. Again, you do not require external user licenses. Project server, this model has one server license and one type of CAL license, and you have licenses for user and device CALs. Do note that this is quite a niche product and not used a lot, but we do need to cover it here as well. When you buy Project Professional as a desktop application license, it includes a device CAL. So if you are running a project server environment and you want to have your Project Professional users access this, you do not require to buy additional client access licenses. If you have a lot of project standard applications within your organization, this is a very basic license, and it cannot share or access a project server environment. External users do require licenses here, but there's no external connector license. So if you have external users that need to access a project server environment, you need to buy device and or user CALs for these. Now, out of the ones handled so far, project server is the only one that is not represented in what we call the client access license suites.